Welcome back to another episode at Consciously Evolving Enterprises. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Ryan Dillon Brasington. As a young man, well, as always, I've always enjoyed a good sausage roll. As a young man, this time going into a newly opened shop in a town called Wyong. It was a little takeaway shop. I thought, oh, yeah, it looks new. I'll call in there. I'll see if they've got a sausage roll. Didn't think too much about it. Anyway, I open up the door, and there at the register is Big Mama. She's a bigger, older lady. G'day, how you doing? I said, yeah, good, thanks. I said, any sausage? I said, yep, I'll grab you one. Anyway, so just waiting for a sec, and then I notice, down the far side of this takeaway bar is a younger girl, quite pretty. She's got her hair in a pig's tails. The apron is, that old fashioned tartan print apron, the white and the red crossover. And I think, oh, yeah, she's pretty cute. She reminds me of one of the horse trainer girls from the circus, just by chance that I thought that. And I thought, okay. Well, maybe Big Mama there is, the ticket booth holder. And then I look down the back and flipping a patty down the back on the grill is old matey here that has literally a werewolf beard. There's no other way to describe it. He's wearing his apron, and he's flipping the patty and he's got that angry look on his face, I'm thinking, wow, all right. He was probably the guy who cooked the hot dogs at the circus, whatever it is, And at this point, I'm thinking, all right, my imagination's getting carried away with me, but yeah, pretty funny. You've got the cook, you've got the girl who worked on the horses doing doing all the stuff there. You got Mummy who sold the tickets. And I'm thinking, I've got this ominous feeling that like it was a circus. And then out of nowhere flips the bench, one of those flip over benches. And I look down to my left, and I'm looking down to my left because what I see now is a dwarf, a midget, come out from under the bench, and he's in his chef outfit, and he's got the rubbish over the back of his shoulder, and he says, "G'day, mate." And I'm in a bit of shock, and I say, "Yeah, g'day, man. How you doing?" And he goes, "Yeah, good, thanks." And he walks out with the rubbish over his shoulder, and I just thought to myself, really, really, nah, that's got to be a joke. Like, I'm now looking around for the cameras, thinking like, this is really like a sideshow alley type thing. Like they've retired from the circus and come and opened up a takeaway shop as a retirement fund. Like this is like what? Anyways, I'm thinking to myself, no, this can't be real. This cannot be real. Anyway, so I get my sausage roll and my Coca Cola, and I walk out going, all right, in disbelief. I can't believe I just went to the circus shop. Anyway, so I go back to school and I tell a couple of my friends at school, and they're like, "No, in disbelief as well." And I said, "No, honestly, all right. Tomorrow, at lunch, we'll go down to this little cafe, and I'll tell you, I'll show you exactly what I was talking about." So me and the couple of friends, we make our way down to this takeaway shop, and we open it up. The bell chimes, and there's Big Mama on the register again. And down further down, the other side of the bar, the takeaway bar, is the girl again in her pigtails and her apron, the old-fashioned apron with the tartan print on it. I'm thinking this is the exact setup as before, and yeah, sure, down the back. There again, old matey werewolf chef is there flicking a burger, and I'm like, this is the exact same setup. Like, oh my God, wow, all right. And the girls are looking at me, and I'm like, this is exactly like a retired circus, right? I didn't say this out loud. Of course, I said this before we went in. I'm not saying it in front of them. I'm thinking, like, and they're looking at me going, like, yeah, like, what kind of, yeah, And then we get our sausage rolls, we grab our Coca Cola, and then again, the bench flips up and over. Out comes old matey dwarf with the garbage over his shoulder. "Oh, g'day guys, how you doing?" And we're all looked at each other and we're like, oh my God, like we're all in shock. We're not laughing or giggling. We're like, oh my God, this really is a retired like circus crew that's now working in Wyong at a takeaway bar. Old matey dwarf walks the rubbish out, comes back in. "Yeah, guys, got everything you need?" "Yeah, thanks." I said, "Oh, no worries. See you tomorrow." Anyway, so me and the guys and the girls go back to school and we're bragging about it, saying like, this is a retired circus. People that are now working in a cafe in Wyong. You got to come and check it out. There's a dwarf that works there. You got werewolf on the bar that's flicking his grill all the time. You got the hot, the trainer girl who obviously must have worked with the animals or the horses there. And you got Big Mama who was on the ticket sales. I swear to God, guys, it's got to be based on the truth because this is what happened when last time we were there. Anyway, so then, a couple of days pass, we get some pocket money up, and we think, yeah, we're going to go down. And we go down, and the cafe takeaway bar is no longer there. And we're like, what? What is going on? Where is it? And we're now looking at an ambulance office for where the takeaway bar used to be. And we're like, scratching our heads going, no, it was here last week. Like, how can there be an ambulance here? Like, where the cafe bar was on the corner here should still be there. This vacant lot where there's now nothing, concrete and pillars to hold up an ambulance station where the ambulance were parked under. And then the guys are scratching our head and the girls that were with me are like, no, we were here last week. It was here. This cafe takeaway bar had now fully disappeared and looked like it never existed. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe. Do what your kids do these days. Cheers.